Good morning, I am Tracy Spence with your newscast. This newscast is brought to you courtesy of BioLife Energy Systems. Come join, believe in. Call them at 800-875-5433. USA Credit Repair, the key to beautiful credit. You may call them at 800-786-1330. Cruising with the case handler. A show on personal injury and immigration weekdays 8:30 a.m. on Saturdays 7 p.m. and 12 noon on Sundays. And Supreme Power Homes. Call them at 800-493-9002. Now for the news in details. Jamaica's House of Representatives yesterday passed a bill delaying the holding of the next local government elections by a possible 15 months. The bill, entitled the Representation of the People Postponement of Elections to the Municipal Councils and the City Municipalities Act of 2020, was piloted by Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Desmond McKenzie. It requires that the provision of the Representation Act ROPA be temporarily annulled to allow for a further 12-month delay after the initial 3-month delay allowed in the provisions of the Act, which begins on November 29, 2020. The next local government elections, including the municipality of Portmore St. Catherine, are due by November 29. However, the 3-month extension will take the waiting period up to February 27, 2021. The additional 12-month period, which the amendment allows, will further delay the elections to February 27, 2022, a possible 15-month postponement. But the government may call the elections at any time within that 12-month corridor. Mackenzie noted that the decision to have the election postponed over a lengthier than normal time was in light of the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic and the destruction of infrastructure by the floods which were caused by rains unleashed by several storms and depressions which circled Jamaica over the last few weeks, as well as the cost of holding the event. Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness is appealing to the diaspora to reconsider traveling during the Christmas period of this year. He was speaking during yesterday's sitting of the House of Representatives. The Prime Minister further encouraged the diaspora to maintain the protocols if they decide to travel, as there is a strict quarantine protocol in place under the Disaster Risk Management Act for 14 days. He also appealed to Jamaicans to celebrate responsibly this Christmas. Meanwhile, Jamaica's Justice Minister Delroy Chuck says the pending Dog Liability for Tax Act is not meant to punish owners of these animals. The bill, which was passed in the House of Representatives last Tuesday, will now go before the Senate for its approval. The minister said unless the dog attack is considered serious and results in the death of the victim, a criminal liability will not be recorded. He explained that the offense is not like most criminal acts where persons get a criminal record, so for most attacks, owners will be fined or serve a term of imprisonment. Chuck said that some dog owners have expressed there should not be any criminal liability. He reiterated, however, that the act seeks to deter dog attacks by encouraging owners to take the necessary steps to secure their dogs and their property. In sports, the inaugural Caribbean Games have been moved from 2021 to 2022 due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Competition was scheduled to take place in Guadeloupe from June 30 to July 4, 2021, just weeks before the delayed Olympics are set to begin in Tokyo. Caribbean Association of National Olympic Committees, CANOC, and the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee President, Brian Lewis, told reporters that Guadeloupe proposed the postponement of the Caribbean Games, but reaffirmed its commitment to host the event. New dates in 2022 are now being considered. An inaugural edition had been scheduled to be held in Trinidad and Tobago as far back as July 2009. However, this was cancelled due to the global spread of the novel influenza virus at that time. The Games are set to be hosted every 4 years and will feature under 23 athletes from nations in the region. And that is it for the news. This newscast came to you courtesy of BioLife Energy Systems. Come join the living. Call them at 800-875-5433. USA Credit Repair, the key to beautiful credit. You may call them at 800-786-1330. Cruising with the Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration, weekdays 8:30 a.m. on Saturdays 7 p.m. and 12 noon on Sundays. And Supreme Power Homes. Call them at 800-493-9002. On behalf of the news and production team, I am Tracy Spence. To have a good morning.